Hey guys, Hitman89 here, and welcome to this Brawlout honest review. The game came out last year on PC and Nintendo Switch, and it finally came out on Xbox One and PS4 today, so August 21st. The game is developed and published by Angry Mob Games, and the easiest way to describe Brawlout is to call it the Super Smash Bros. Clone, but without the Nintendo characters. Now, if you don't have a Nintendo console and you can't get Super Smash Bros., then you might be interested in Brawlout. So without further ado, let's get started with the graphics. This review was shot on PS4, and as you can see, the game's got the cartoony style, which is usually not my cup of tea, but for a game like this, I actually like the graphics. The animations too, by the way. You can see some of the funny animations that the game's got. I really like those, and the rest of the moves are also good, plus everything runs pretty smooth, so the graphics are gonna get an 8 out of 10. Moving on to the sound, and we're gonna start with music. Later on, we'll talk about the sound effects and dialogues, and the soundtrack is nothing memorable in my opinion. It's not epic, but it gets the job done. The same thing applies to the sound effects, and by the way, there are no voices on this game. The little dialogue part that you get before starting a fight is just some text on the screen, but that didn't really bother me since most of the time everybody's talking or laughing, so you don't really get to hear the game's audio that much. So the sound is gonna get a 7 out of 10. I'll let you listen to the audio for like 15 seconds before we move on to the gameplay. Brawlout's got 24 characters so far, 13 arenas, 4 game modes, 2 online and 2 offline, and in my opinion, couch play mode is like the best thing ever when you invite some friends over and virtually beat the shit out of each other. Oh, and by the way, the gameplay changes based on the character you pick. I mean, the arenas also influence the way you play, but for the most part, it's the characters' fighting styles. I wish the fast combos were done with 2 different buttons though, cause that would feel a little bit more rewarding than mashing the same button, but other than that, the gameplay is good, and that's why I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Now let's talk a little bit about the game's replayability. This is probably not the game that you're gonna be playing every day, but maybe once a week online and whenever you invite some friends over and you play a bunch of video games. So the single player part isn't that replayable, but the multiplayer modes are definitely very replayable. That's why I'm gonna give the replayability a 7.5 out of 10. Moving on to the fun factor, and this heavily depends on how you play the game. If you play against the CPU or just online against random people, it's not gonna be that much fun. But as soon as you play it with your friends, even with just one friend, the game is definitely a blast and you'll have tons of fun playing it. So the fun factor is gonna get a 9.5 out of 10. Last but not least, when it comes to the value for money, the game goes for 20 bucks, and for that you get more than 24 characters and 13 arenas, and as long as you play the game with your friends, it's definitely worth the money. Unless you already have Super Smash Bros. Or you can afford it, obviously, but other than that, the value for money is gonna get an 8 out of 10. So Brawlout is worth it on all platforms apart from Switch, at least in my opinion. You should only buy this game if you want to play Super Smash Bros, but you don't have a Nintendo console or you can't afford it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. I really hope Brawlout gets some more indie game characters in a free DLC, just like we got the Prisoner from Dead Cells in a free update. I think if they keep doing that, it would make the game even more interesting. Anyways, don't forget to leave a like if you found this review useful. Also subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you've got the game on PS4, let me know that so we could maybe play it online together and beat the shit out of each other. It's been Hitman89. See you guys very soon.
Team, my brothers, I'm out here trying to run us. The rest of y'all trying to trump us, but it's hands up, no handouts, no stand-ins. I stand out. I built this bitch from the ground up. I got the plans out. This my house. Yeah, I came in this bitch with a dream and a fifth. Only people I trust is my team and my bitch. Every night it was curry. Now I cannot miss. RIP to you haters, you will not be missed.